Victoria Shaw tears the check in half. $10 million. Ripped down the middle like garbage. She looks the black man dead in his eyes and tears it again. 4 pieces now. Then she throws them at his chest. Fraud! Thief! Get this black man out of my bank! The paper falls onto Marcus Webb's shoes, onto his father's old briefcase, onto 5 years of 18-hour days and 3 a.m. code sessions, and a dead wife's last words. You're gonna be somebody, baby. 12 white customers stand frozen. Nobody moves. Nobody speaks. The door swings open. Her boss walks in, sees the torn paper, sees Marcus. His face goes white. Mr. Webb, his voice shakes. Sir? 1 word. Too late. 52 minutes too late. Why did her boss just bow to the man she humiliated? Who is Marcus Webb? Stay. Because that word, sir, just destroyed everything. Comment your city. Let me see how far this story reaches. The alarm hits at 5:15 a.m. Marcus Webb is already awake, has been for 11 minutes, staring at the ceiling, running numbers in his head. $10 million. 7 zeros. Today he deposits it. Today it becomes real. Daddy? His daughter Zoe stands in the doorway. 9 years old, hair still messy from sleep. Hey, baby, why you up so early? Couldn't sleep. She walks over, climbs onto the bed, sits cross-legged facing him. Today's the bank day, right? Yeah. You nervous? Marcus sits up, looks at his daughter. She's got her mother's eyes, Linda's eyes. 4 years gone now, and those eyes still punch him in the chest every single morning. A little, he admits. Why? It's your money. You earned it. Out of the mouths of babes. You're right, Zoe. I did earn it. Then why would you be nervous? Because I'm black, baby. Because I've watched men like me get questioned and doubted and searched and humiliated for having things that people think we shouldn't have. He doesn't say that. Just big day jitters. You know how it is. Like before my piano recital? Exactly like that. Zoe nods seriously. I threw up before my recital. I remember. Don't throw up at the bank, Daddy. Marcus laughs. First real laugh in days. I'll try not to. Promise? Promise. Zoe studies his face for a long moment. Then, Mommy would be really proud of you. The words hit him like a truck. Yeah? She told me. Before she got really sick. She said you were going to change the world, and I should watch close so I don't miss it. Marcus pulls his daughter into a hug, holds her tight. She smells like strawberry shampoo and sleep and everything good he's ever done in his life. I miss her, Daddy. Me too, baby. Every day. Do you think she can see us? From heaven? I think she's watching right now. I think she sees everything. Then we better not mess up. Marcus pulls back, looks at his daughter. When did you get so smart? I've always been smart. You're just slow. Oh, I'm slow? Super slow. I'll show you slow. He tickles her. She shrieks and squirms and laughs until she's gasping for air. Okay. You're not slow. You're very fast. The fastest. Marcus stops. Zoe catches her breath, grimming. Go get ready for school, he says. Bus comes at 8. Will you be home when I get back? Should be. And hey. Yeah? Ice cream for dinner tonight. To celebrate. Zoe's eyes go wide. Really? Really. Any flavor? Any flavor. Even cookie dough? Even cookie dough. Zoe throws her arms around his neck. Best daddy ever. Remember that when you're 16 and hate me. I could never hate you. She runs off to get ready. Marcus sits on the edge of the bed, alone now, the weight of the day settling onto his shoulders. He looks at the closet, at the briefcase on the top shelf. His father's briefcase. Gerald Webb worked at Morrison Manufacturing for 38 years. Same machine, same shift, same lunch pail every day. He never complained, never called in sick, never asked for more than he'd earned. When Marcus was 12, some kids at school told him his father was just a factory worker. Marcus came home crying. Gerald sat him down at the kitchen table. "Son, what do you think I do at that factory?" "You make parts?" "I make parts that go into machines that go into hospitals. Those machines keep people alive. Babies, grandmothers, soldiers coming home from war. I never met any of them, never will. But every single day, I go to work knowing that something I built with these hands is keeping somebody's loved one breathing." Gerald held up his hands, calloused, scarred, strong. "There's no such thing as just anything, Marcus. A man's work is his legacy. Don't ever let anyone make you feel small for what you do. And don't ever make anyone else feel small either."
"Yes, sir."
"Now eat your dinner." Gerald died 14 years later. Heart attack. Quick. No warning. No goodbye. Left Marcus the briefcase and one piece of advice, written on a note tucked inside. Don't let anyone make you small. Marcus carries that briefcase to every important meeting, every pitch, every moment when the world tries to tell him he doesn't belong. Today, he carries it to the bank. Inside the briefcase, the check, $10 million. Business registration, Webb Technologies, LLC. Acquisition documents, signed by Premier Logistics. Tax returns, 5 years. Bank statements, 5 years. 2 forms of ID. He shouldn't need all this. Nobody should need to bring their entire life history to deposit a check. But Marcus has heard the stories. His college roommate, Deshaun, tried to deposit an insurance settlement, $15,000. Cops called. Handcuffed in the lobby. Released 2 hours later with an apology. His business partner David's cousin, Marcus, bought a car with cash. Dealer called the feds. Investigated for 3 months. Found nothing. No apology. His own father. Cashed his pension check in 1987. Bank held it for 2 weeks. Verification purposes. His mother couldn't buy groceries. So Marcus brings everything, every document, every proof, every piece of paper that says, "I am legitimate," in language that people who doubt him might understand. He shouldn't have to. But this is America. And he's black. And $10 million is a lot of money for a man who looks like him to have.
"Daddy, I can't find my math homework."
Marcus checks his watch. 7:42. 18 minutes until the bus. Did you check your backpack?
"Yes."
Did you check under your bed? Silence. Then, found it. Mm-hmm. Zoe appears in the kitchen, homework in hand, looking guilty. It was only a little bit under the bed. A little bit? Like halfway. Halfway under the bed is fully under the bed. That's not how math works. Then maybe you need to study that homework more. Zoe groans. You always use my words against me. That's my job. She shoves the homework into her backpack, zips it, looks at Marcus with sudden seriousness. Daddy? Yeah, baby? Be careful today, okay? There it is again. That weight in her voice. That knowing. 9 years old and she already understands what it means to be them in this world. I'm always careful.
I know, but extra careful? Please?
Marcus kneels down, eye level with his daughter. I promise. Extra careful. And don't let anyone be mean to you.
I won't.
And if they are mean, you tell them your daughter said they're not allowed. Marcus smiles. I'll tell them exactly that. The bus honks outside. Go, learn things. Make me proud. Zoe hugs him fast and fierce.
Love you, Daddy.
Love you more. Love you most. Love you infinity.
That's cheating.
Life's not fair. Go. She runs out the door. Marcus watches through the window as she climbs onto the bus. Waves. The bus pulls away. Quiet now. Just Marcus and the briefcase and $10 million. The drive takes 18 minutes. First Heritage Bank, Financial District. Glass and marble and promises of professionalism. Marcus parks at 12:13 p.m. Lunch rush. The bank is crowded. Good. Witnesses. He doesn't know why that word pops into his head. Doesn't know why his gut is tight. Doesn't know why Zoe's words keep echoing. Be careful. Extra careful. But he's learned to trust his gut. 5 years of business taught him that. He grabs the briefcase, walks toward the glass doors, stops, looks at his reflection. Clean shave, pressed shirt, professional. He doesn't look like $10 million. Never cared about flashy clothes or expensive watches, but he looks respectable. That should be enough. Push through the doors. The lobby smells like paper and floor polish. 12 people in line, 3 tellers working. Marcus waits, watches. An elderly white woman approaches counter 2, deposits a check, shows one ID, smiles exchanged. 30 seconds. Done. A white man in a suit, counter 1, cash deposit, thick envelope, no questions. 20 seconds. Done. The line moves. 8 people. 7. 6. Marcus studies the tellers, reads the name badges. Counter 1, Jennifer Mills. Young, seems friendly. Counter 2, Robert Torres. Efficient, no nonsense. Counter 3, Victoria Shaw, branch manager. Something about her face makes Marcus uneasy. The set of her jaw. The way her eyes sweep over customers before they reach her window. Assessing. Judging. 5 people. 4. 3. Next, please. Counter 3. Victoria Shaw. Marcus takes a breath, walks forward. Good afternoon. I'd like to deposit this check. He places it on the counter. $10 million. Victoria looks at the check. Then she looks at Marcus. The change is instant. Her smile stays fixed, but her eyes go cold. That flicker of doubt. That silent calculation. Black man plus large check equals problem. Marcus has seen that look his entire life. Can I see some identification? Of course. He hands over his driver's license. Victoria studies it, types something into her computer, frowns. Do you have another form of ID? Already starting. Yes, he hands her his passport. Victoria examines it, holds it up next to his face, comparing. The gesture is deliberate, public. The customers behind him are watching now. Do you have documentation for this check? What kind of documentation? Business papers, tax returns, something that proves... Proves what? Victoria's smile tightens. Proves the source of funds. Standard procedure for large deposits. Marcus opens the briefcase, places documents on the counter. Business registration, acquisition paperwork, tax returns. 5 years of records, he says. Is that sufficient? Victoria barely glances at them, I'm going to need to call our fraud department. Fraud department. Standard procedure. You keep saying that. Sir, that woman behind me deposited a check 10 minutes ago. I watched. You asked for one ID. No fraud department. Why is my deposit different? Victoria's face hardens.
Are you accusing me of something?
I'm asking a question. Security? She says it loud enough for the entire lobby to hear. Security, can you come to counter 3, please? A guard approaches. Thomas Mitchell, 50-something, 20-year veteran. His hand doesn't go to his weapon, but his posture says, ready. Everything okay, Miss Shaw? This gentleman is being difficult. I need him to wait while I verify his check. Difficult. For asking why he's being treated differently. Difficult. For expecting the same service as every white customer before him. Marcus reaches into his pocket. Slowly. Deliberately. Pulls out his phone. Places it on the counter. Sir, you can't record in here. Pennsylvania is a one-party consent state. I don't need your permission. Victoria's eyes flash. I'm asking you to step aside while I... No. The word lands hard. Excuse me? I said no. I'm not stepping aside. I'm not leaving. You're going to process this deposit or give me a written explanation for why you're refusing. This check is suspicious. Suspicious how? The amount is $10 million. I can read. What makes it suspicious? Victoria sputters. It's inconsistent with... With what? My clothes? My face? My skin? I never said you didn't have to. Silence. The lobby is frozen. 12 people watching. The security guard shifting his weight. Victoria's face cycling through emotions. Anger. Embarrassment. Something darker. Marcus stands firm. His father's voice in his head. Don't let anyone make you small. Victoria picks up the phone. Fraud department? Yes, I have a customer here with a $10 million check that appears inconsistent. I need verification. Inconsistent with what? Marcus wants to scream. Inconsistent with your assumptions? Inconsistent with your prejudice? He says nothing. Victoria listens, frowns. Her expression shifts. Something she hears bothers her. She hangs up, turns back to Marcus. Sir, I've been informed that additional documentation is required before... I've provided 5 years of documentation. What else could you possibly... Sir, I don't appreciate your tone. And I don't appreciate being treated like a criminal. Victoria stands. Her chair scrapes back. Something changes in her face. A decision made. She picks up the check. $10 million. Holds it between 2 fingers like it's contaminated. Looks Marcus dead in the eyes. And tears it. The sound cuts through the lobby like breaking glass. Victoria tears it again. 4 pieces. She crumples them, steps around the counter, and throws them at Marcus's chest. Paper scatters, falls, lands on his shirt, his shoes, his father's briefcase. This check is fraudulent. Her voice rings out across the lobby. And you, sir, are attempting to commit fraud. Security, remove this man. I'm calling the police. Marcus doesn't move. Can't move. 52 minutes. 52 minutes of questions and doubt and suspicion. And now this. Paper at his feet. 12 witnesses staring. A security guard reaching for his arm. And Victoria Shaw, smiling. Smiling. Like she won. Don't touch me. Marcus's voice is quiet, but the guard freezes. Sir, I need you to... I said don't touch me. Marcus bends down, picks up the pieces, one by one, places them in an envelope. His hands aren't shaking. He won't give her that. What is your full name? Victoria crosses her arms. Victoria Shaw, branch manager. Now leave before... Marcus takes a photo of her badge. the torn pieces, the timestamp on the security camera. "Thank you, Miss Shaw. I have everything I need." The door opens. Robert Hayes walks into the lobby. Regional Vice President. 25 years with the bank. Stopped by to check on the new branch. Routine visit. He walks into chaos. 12 frozen customers. Security at counter 3. A black man with paper in his hands. His branch manager red-faced and shouting. "I said call the police! This man—" Robert sees the black man's face. His stomach drops. No. No, no, no. Mr. Webb. The name comes out strangled. Victoria stops mid-sentence, confused. "Sir?" The lobby goes silent. Robert steps forward. His legs feel like concrete. "Mr. Webb." He clears his throat, forces the next word out. "Sir." "Sir." Victoria's face goes white. The security guard steps back. The 12 customers exchange glances. "Sir." Not "this gentleman," not dismissive, not condescending. "Sir." With respect, with recognition, with fear. Marcus turns slowly, looks at Robert Hayes. His face reveals nothing. "Mr. Hayes, we met at the FinTech conference last year. I pitched you banking services. You were very—" Robert swallows. "Very gracious." Marcus remembers. Robert Hayes talked about relationship banking. Personalized service, treating every customer with respect. Ironic. "Your branch manager just destroyed my property," Marcus says. "Accused me of fraud, called security, threatened to have me arrested." Robert's eyes drop to the floor, the torn pieces in Marcus's envelope. "I can explain." "Explain what?" Marcus steps closer. "Explain why your manager assumed a black man couldn't have $10 million. Explain why she didn't make one phone call before tearing up my check. Explain why Sir came 52 minutes too late." Robert opens his mouth. Nothing comes out. Victoria tries. "Sir, I was following protocol." "What protocol?" Robert turns on her. His voice sharp. "What protocol tells you to destroy a customer's property? What protocol tells you to call security for a deposit? What protocol?" Victoria stares. She's never heard him use that tone. He was being difficult." "He was being a customer. A customer you profiled. A customer you humiliated. A customer who—" Robert stops, breathes, turns back to Marcus. "Mr. Webb, sir, please, let me make this right." Marcus looks at him, at Victoria, at the 12 witnesses who watched and said nothing, at the security guard who followed orders, at his father's briefcase with torn paper inside. "You can't make this right." Marcus walks toward the door. "Mr. Webb, please." Marcus stops, turns back one last time. That word, sir. It came at minute 52, after she called me a criminal, after she threw my check at my chest, after she humiliated me in front of every person in this lobby. His voice is steady, cold. "You said sir when it was too late to matter. You gave respect to the man you recognized, the CEO, the entrepreneur. But the man who walked in 52 minutes ago, the black man with a check, that man didn't deserve sir, not until you showed up." Robert says nothing. "That's the problem," Marcus continues. "Respect shouldn't require recognition. Dignity shouldn't need credentials. Sir should be default, not apology." He pushes through the glass doors. Gone. Robert Hayes stands in the lobby, paper on the floor, 12 witnesses staring, Victoria Shaw trembling, the security camera recording everything. And somewhere out there, A man with 52 minutes of audio and a very good reason to use it. Robert looks at Victoria. My office. Now.
Sir, I can explain.
Now. She walks past him, shoulders tight, still not understanding. Robert bends down, picks up a piece of torn paper from the floor. $10 million. Destroyed by assumption. His phone buzzes. Text from corporate. Routine check-in. Everything okay at the new branch? Robert stares at the message. Everything okay? No. Nothing will ever be okay again. And this is only the beginning. Marcus sits in his car for 15 minutes, hands on the steering wheel. Not shaking from fear, shaking from rage. The envelope sits on the passenger seat. 4 pieces of paper. $10 million, torn apart by a woman who looked at him and saw a criminal. His phone buzzes. Text from David Chen, his business partner. How'd it go? Check deposited? Marcus stares at the message. Types nothing. Another buzz. Marcus, you there? He turns off the phone. The parking garage is quiet. Concrete and shadows and the distant hum of traffic. Marcus closes his eyes, breathes, tries to slow his heartbeat. 52 minutes. He replays it in his head. Every question, every demand, every look of suspicion. Can I see identification? Another form of ID? Do you have business documentation? Security to counter 3, please. And then the sound. Paper tearing. His future ripped in half. In quarters. Thrown at his chest like garbage. Fraud! Thief! Get this black man out of my bank! Marcus opens his eyes. His father's briefcase sits on the passenger seat. Worn leather. Cracked corners. 40 years of dignity in that case. Don't let anyone make you small. Victoria Shaw tried. She failed. Marcus picks up the envelope, opens it, looks at the 4 pieces of his check. $10 million. Worthless now. Just paper. But the recording on his phone? That's worth everything. He starts the car. Time to decide what comes next. The drive home takes 23 minutes, 5 longer than usual. Marcus takes the long way, needs time to think. His phone sits dark on the passenger seat. He knows it's blowing up. David, his lawyer. Maybe news already spreading somehow. Let it wait. The apartment is empty when he walks in. Zoe won't be home for 3 more hours. Good. He needs this time alone. Marcus sets the briefcase on the kitchen table, opens it, spreads out the documents. Business registration, still valid. Acquisition papers, still signed. Tax returns, still legitimate. Bank statements, still showing 5 years of honest work. None of it mattered. Victoria Shaw saw black skin and made her decision. Marcus picks up his phone, powers it on. 17 missed calls, 32 text messages. He ignores them all. Opens the recording app instead. 52 minutes and 18 seconds. He hits play. Good afternoon. I'd like to deposit this check. His own voice, calm, professional. Can I see some identification? Victoria's voice, already suspicious, already judging. Marcus listens to the whole thing. Every question, every demand. Every escalation. The moment she called security. The moment she picked up the phone. The moment paper tore. This check is fraudulent, and you, sir, are attempting to commit fraud. He pauses the recording, sits in silence. The refrigerator hums. The clock ticks. Somewhere outside, a car horn blares. Marcus thinks about his options. Option 1. Call Premier Logistics. Get the check reissued. Deposit it somewhere else. Move on with his life. Option 2. Call a lawyer. File a complaint. Seek justice. Option 3. Go public. Share the recording. Let the world hear what happened. His phone buzzes again. Unknown number. He answers. Mr. Webb, this is James Anderson. Please don't hang up. Who? Regional VP, First Heritage Bank. We met at the FinTech conference last year. I was at the branch today. I saw what happened. I need to explain. You mean you saw the end? You missed the 52 minutes before. Silence. Mr. Webb, please. Let me make this right. Make it right how? Meet with me. Tomorrow. Anywhere you want. I'll explain everything. I'll apologize properly. I'll do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Yes. Will you fire her? Silence. Longer this time. That's a personnel matter. I can't discuss. You can't fire a woman who destroyed my property and called me a criminal in front of 12 witnesses. I didn't say that. I said I can't discuss personnel matters. But I can promise you a full investigation. I can promise accountability. Accountability. Marcus tastes the word. It tastes like nothing. Mr. Webb, I know you're angry. You have every right to be. But please, don't make any decisions tonight. Don't call anyone. Don't post anything. Give me 24 hours. 24 hours to do what? To show you we take this seriously. To prove this isn't who we are. It's exactly who you are. Your manager proved it. One manager. One terrible decision. That's not one manager who's been with your bank for 16 years. 16 years of making decisions. You think today was the first time? Silence again. Marcus continues. I'm going to find out. I'm going to look into every complaint filed against her. Every customer she questioned. Every black person she made feel like a criminal for trying to access their own money. Mr. Webb, and when I find out this wasn't the first time, and we both know it wasn't, I'm going to make sure everyone knows. Please, just meet with me first. 24 hours, that's all I'm asking. Marcus looks at the 4 pieces of check on his table. 24 hours. What difference would it make? Tomorrow, 10 a.m., coffee shop on Market Street. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Webb. I'll be there. And I'll have answers. You better. Marcus hangs up, stares at the phone. 24 hours. He opens his laptop, types, Banking discrimination, Philadelphia. The results flood in. Articles, lawsuits, settlements, story after story of black customers denied service, questioned excessively, treated like suspects. He narrows the search. First Heritage Bank complaints. Fewer results. The bank is good at keeping things quiet. But there's a Reddit thread from 2 years ago. Has anyone else had problems at First Heritage Bank in Philly? Manager assumed my check was fake. Made me provide tax returns for a $5,000 deposit. I'm black. My white friend deposited $10,000 the same day. Only showed driver's license. 14 replies. Same thing happened to me. Different branch, same treatment. They held my deposit for 2 weeks. Verification purposes. I'm a doctor. I closed my account after they called security on my husband. He was depositing his paycheck. Marcus screenshots everything, creates a folder on his desktop, labels it Evidence. His phone buzzes. Text from an unknown number. Mr. Webb, this is Jordan Hayes, civil rights attorney. We met at the Economic Summit last year. Just heard something happen at a bank today. If you need representation, call me. No fee unless we win. Jordan Hayes. Marcus remembers him. Sharp, aggressive. Built his career on discrimination cases. Banks, employers, housing. He doesn't lose often. Marcus saves the number. Doesn't call yet. He has 24 hours. Might as well use them. 3 hours later, Zoe bursts through the door. "Daddy, I got an A on my math test." Marcus closes the laptop, pushes away the anger, puts on his father face. "That's my girl. Let me see." Zoe runs over, waves the test paper. Red A+ at the top. Smiley face from the teacher. "Mrs. Patterson said I was the only one who got the bonus question right." What was the bonus question? What's 147 times 23? And you knew that? I used the trick you taught me. Break it into pieces. 147 times 20 plus 147 times 3. That's my genius, Zoe beams. Then her face changes. She looks at the kitchen table. The documents spread out. The envelope with torn paper inside. "Daddy, what's that?" Marcus moves to block her view. Too late. Is that your check? Why is it ripped up?" "It's nothing, baby." "It's not nothing. That's your check. Your big check. Why is it in pieces?" Marcus kneels down, eye level with his daughter. "Something happened at the bank today." "What happened?" "A lady. She made a mistake." "What kind of mistake?" "She thought the check wasn't real." "But it is real." "I know." "You showed her your papers and stuff?" "I showed her everything." "Then why did she think it wasn't real?" Marcus hesitates. How do you explain racism to a 9-year-old? How do you tell your daughter that some people will always look at her and see less? "Sometimes," Marcus says slowly, "people make decisions based on what they think they see, instead of what's actually there." Zoe frowns. "That's dumb." "Yeah, it is." "So what happens now? Do you have to get a new check?" "Yeah, I'll call the company tomorrow." "And the lady who ripped it, does she get in trouble?" "I don't know yet." Zoe's face goes hard, that stubborn look she inherited from Linda. "She should get in trouble. She was mean to you." "Yeah." "You should tell someone." "I'm thinking about it." "Don't think about it. Do it." Marcus looks at his daughter, 9 years old, already understanding how the world works, already knowing that justice doesn't come to those who wait quietly. "You're pretty smart, you know that?" "I told you, you're the slow one." Despite everything, Marcus smiles. "Ice cream for dinner? You promised." "I did promise. Go wash your hands." Zoe runs off. Marcus looks at the torn check on the table. She should get in trouble. Don't think about it. Do it. Out of the mouths of babes. That night, after Zoe falls asleep, Marcus makes calls. First, Premier Logistics. "Mr. Webb, we heard what happened. Absolutely appalling. We'll have a new check ready first thing tomorrow. Want us to messenger it directly to your home?" "That would be great. And Mr. Webb, if you decide to pursue legal action, we'll support you however we can. What that woman did was criminal. Thank you." Second call, David Chen. "Brother, I've been trying to reach you all day. What the hell happened?" "Bank manager tore up my check." "She what?" "Tore it up. Called me a fraud. Threw the pieces at my chest." "Please tell me you're joking." "Do I sound like I'm joking?" Silence. "Tell me you recorded it." "Every second." "How long?" 52 minutes. 52... Marcus, brother, that's a lawsuit. That's a news story. I know what it is. What are you going to do?" I'm meeting with the bank's regional VP tomorrow, hearing what he has to say. And then? Then I'm calling Jordan Hayes. The civil rights attorney? Yeah. Good, good. Don't let them buy your silence, Marcus. This isn't just about you. You know that, right? I know. Every black man who's ever been questioned, every black woman who's ever been doubted, every single one of us who's ever walked into a bank or a store or a restaurant and felt those eyes on us. You're carrying all of them right now. That's a lot of weight. You've been carrying weight your whole life. This is no different. Marcus looks at his father's briefcase. I'll call you tomorrow, after the meeting. I'll be waiting. Third call, Jordan Hayes. Mr. Webb, I was hoping you'd call. How did you hear about this? Word travels fast in certain circles, especially when it involves First Heritage Bank. Why especially them? Let's just say you're not the first person they've mistreated. You might be the first with a 52-minute recording, though. What do you know about them? I know they've settled 3 discrimination complaints in the past 5 years, all sealed, all confidential, all involving customers of color. Sealed by who? By the customers who took their money and signed NDAs. How much money? Ranges $50,000, $100,000, one for $200,000. They're buying silence. They're very good at it. Most people take the money. Most people have bills to pay, can't afford to fight. I can afford to fight. I know, that's why I called. You're the perfect plaintiff, Mr. Webb. Successful, documented, sympathetic, and most importantly, you don't need their money. I don't want their money. What do you want? Marcus thinks about Victoria Shaw, about her smile as she threw paper at him, about the 12 people who watched and said nothing. I want accountability. Accountability is expensive. For them, I mean. Much more expensive than a settlement. Good. Jordan laughs. I like you, Mr. Webb. I think we're going to work well together. I haven't hired you yet. No, you haven't. But you will. After you meet with Anderson tomorrow and hear his bullshit offer, you'll call me, and we'll get to work. What makes you so sure? Because I know what they're going to offer. A replacement check, a personal apology, maybe some money for your trouble, and an NDA that ensures you never speak of this again. And if I don't sign, then they'll try to discredit you, question your business, dig into your past, make it seem like you provoked the incident. I didn't provoke anything. I know, but banks have money. Money buys lawyers. Lawyers create doubt. Let them try. That's the spirit. Call me tomorrow, after the meeting. I will. And Mr. Webb, don't sign anything. Don't agree to anything. Just listen. Then walk away. Got it. Good luck. Marcus hangs up, looks at the clock. 11:47 p.m. He should sleep. Big day tomorrow. But his mind won't stop. He opens his laptop again. The Reddit thread. The articles. The patterns. One comment catches his eye. Anyone know if First Heritage trains their managers to do this? Seems too consistent to be coincidence. Marcus stares at the words. Trains their managers. Too consistent. He types a response. I may have some answers soon. Stay tuned. Hits post. Closes the laptop. Tomorrow, he faces the bank. Tonight, he dreams of his father. Gerald Webb stands at his machine. Same posture, same patience, same dignity that no job title could ever diminish. You did good today, son. I got humiliated. You stayed standing. That's all that matters. I wanted to scream. I wanted to grab her. I wanted to, but you didn't. You stayed calm. You gathered evidence. You walked out with your head high. That's strength, Marcus, not what you feel, what you do. I don't know what to do next. Yes, you do. You've always known. I'm scared. Good. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision that something else matters more. What matters more? Gerald smiles. That same smile Marcus remembers from childhood. Warm, steady, full of unshakable faith. Everyone who comes after you, everyone who walk into that bank tomorrow, everyone who needs to know that what happened to you won't be tolerated. That's a lot of people. You've got big shoulders. You'll manage. I miss you, Dad. I'm right here. Always have been. Always will be. Marcus wakes at 5:15 a.m., same time as always. But today feels different. Today, everything changes. The coffee shop on Market Street is quiet at 10 a.m. Marcus arrives early, takes a table in the back, orders black coffee, waits. Robert Anderson walks in at 9:58, punctual, nervous, carrying a leather folder that probably contains an offer Marcus won't accept. Mr. Webb, thank you for meeting me. Sit down. Anderson sits, doesn't order anything. His hands fidget with the folder. I want to start by apologizing. What happened yesterday was, skip the apology. Tell me what you're offering. Anderson blinks. Not the start he expected. Okay, well, First Heritage wants to make this right. We're prepared to offer you a replacement check immediately. No delays. No additional verification. Direct deposit, if you prefer. And a personal apology from myself and from corporate leadership. And Anderson hesitates. And compensation for your trouble. We're authorized to offer $50,000 as a gesture of goodwill. Goodwill. Yes. And the NDA? Anderson's face flickers. There would be a confidentiality agreement. Standard practice. Standard practice for covering up discrimination. That's not... Let me tell you what I think, Mr. Anderson. I think Victoria Shaw has done this before. I think she's been questioned before. I think she's been reported before. And I think your bank has paid money every single time to make it go away. Anderson says nothing. I think you have a system. Target customers who don't look like they belong. Question them. Intimidate them. And when it blows up, write a check. Sign an NDA. Move on. That's not accurate. Prove it. I can't discuss personnel. You keep hiding behind that phrase. Personnel matters. Confidentiality. Standard practice. You know what I hear? I hear a man who knows exactly what his bank has been doing and doesn't want to admit it. Anderson's jaw tightens. Mr. Webb, I came here in good faith. No, you came here to buy my silence, same as you bought everyone else's. That's not how many. How many complaints against Victoria Shaw specifically? Silence. How many settlements? How many NDAs? How many black customers walked out of that bank feeling exactly what I felt yesterday? I can't or won't. Anderson's face is red now. Frustrated. Trapped. I'm trying to help you, Mr. Webb. No, you're trying to help yourself. You're trying to help your bank. You're trying to make this problem go away before it becomes a bigger problem. And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with resolving this quietly? You get your money, you get compensation, everyone moves on. Everyone except the next person. What? The next black man who walks into that bank. The next black woman who tries to deposit a check. They don't move on. They get Victoria Shaw. They get the same questions, the same suspicion, the same humiliation. And you know why? Anderson says nothing. Because you made it go away. Because you wrote a check instead of fixing the problem. Because silence is cheaper than change. Marcus stands. Keep your $50,000. Keep your apology. Keep your NDA. Mr. Webb, please. I'm going to find out how many people your bank has silenced. I'm going to find every settlement, every complaint, every victim. And then I'm going to make sure the whole world knows. You'll never get access to those records. Watch me. Marcus walks toward the door. Mr. Webb! He stops, doesn't turn around. If you go public with this, we'll fight. We have lawyers, resources. We'll make this very difficult for you. Marcus turns, looks at Robert Anderson. My father worked in a factory for 38 years. Same machine, same shift, same lunch pail. Every single day, people told him he was just a factory worker. Just. Like his work didn't matter. Like his dignity didn't count. Marcus steps closer. He never let them make him small, and neither will I. This isn't about being small. This is about being smart. Take the settlement. Move on with your life. You still don't understand. Then explain it to me. This isn't about me anymore. It stopped being about me the moment your manager threw that paper at my chest. Now it's about everyone who's been made to feel like they don't belong. Everyone who's been questioned and doubted and humiliated for the crime of existing while black. Marcus opens the door. That's who I'm fighting for, and no settlement is going to stop me. He walks out, doesn't look back. Behind him, Robert Anderson sits alone, the leather folder unopened, the $50,000 refused, and the knowledge that everything is about to change. His phone buzzes. Text from corporate. How did the meeting go? Is this contained? Anderson stares at the message. Contained. Like Marcus Webb is a fire to be put out. He types back. We have a problem. Sends it, orders coffee, and waits for the storm. Marcus sits in his car outside the coffee shop, dials Jordan Hayes. How did it go? They offered $50,000 and an NDA. Predictable. What did you say? I said no. Good. What did he say? He said they'd fight. Lawyers, resources, make it difficult. Jordan laughs. They always say that. Then they see the evidence, then they see the public pressure, then they start negotiating for real. I'm not negotiating. I know. That's why we're going to win. What's the next step? I file a complaint with the State Banking Commission. Then I start digging. Personnel records, settlement history, pattern evidence. It'll take time, but we'll find everything. How much time? Weeks, maybe months. They'll stall. They'll fight discovery. Standard playbook. I don't want to wait months. What do you have in mind? Marcus looks at his phone, at the recording app. 52 minutes and 18 seconds. I have a story. I have evidence. I have witnesses. You want to go public. I want people to know what happened. That's risky. Once it's out there, you can't control the narrative. The bank will spin it. They'll attack your credibility. They'll make you the villain. Let them try. You're sure about this? My daughter asked me last night what I was going to do. 9 years old, and she said, "Don't think about it. Do it." She understood better than any of us. Smart kid. She's her mother's daughter. Silence. All right, Jordan says. If we're doing this, we do it right. I know a journalist, Elena Martinez, Philadelphia Chronicle. She's been investigating banking discrimination for 2 years. She's fair. She's thorough. She'll tell your story properly. Set it up. Tomorrow? Today, if possible. I'll make some calls. Jordan? Yeah? Thank you for believing me. Mr. Webb, I've been doing this work for 12 years. I've seen what banks do to people who look like us. Your story isn't new. But your willingness to fight? That's rare. Most people take the money. Most people stay quiet. My father taught me better. Then let's make him proud. Marcus hangs up, starts the car, drives home. The pieces are in motion now. No turning back. The storm is coming. And for the first time since yesterday, Marcus feels something other than anger. He feels ready. Elena Martinez arrives at the coffee shop at 3 p.m. Same place Marcus met Anderson this morning. Different purpose entirely. She's younger than Marcus expected. Early 30s. Sharp eyes. Notebook already open before she sits down. Mr. Webb, thank you for agreeing to meet. Thank you for coming on short notice. Jordan said you have a story. He said it's important. It is. Elena pulls out her phone, sets it on the table. Mind if I record? Go ahead. I have my own recording anyway. Elena's eyebrows lift. Of our conversation? Of what happened at the bank. 52 minutes. Elena stops, puts down her pen. You recorded the entire incident? Every word. Can I hear it? That's why I'm here. Marcus pulls out his phone, opens the recording app, hits play. Good afternoon. I'd like to deposit this check. Elena listens. Her face changes as the recording progresses. Neutral at first, then concerned, then angry. When Victoria's voice says, "Security to counter 3, please," Elena shakes her head. When the sound of paper tearing cuts through, she closes her eyes. When the pieces hit Marcus's chest, she whispers, "Jesus." And when Robert Anderson says, "Mr. Webb, sir," Elena looks up at Marcus with something like awe. 52 minutes, she says quietly. 52 minutes and 18 seconds. And the sir came at the end, after everything else. Elena sits back, processes what she just heard. This is significant. You understand that, right? This isn't just your story. This is evidence of systemic discrimination. I know. First Heritage has been on my radar for 2 years. 3 settlements that I know of. All sealed. All involving customers of color. But I've never been able to prove a pattern. The victims took the money and signed NDAs. I was offered $50,000 this morning. And you turned it down. I did. Elena studies him. Why? Because silence protects systems, and I'm done protecting systems that don't protect us. Elena picks up her pen again. Tell me everything, from the beginning. Marcus tells her. The alarm at 5:15. Zoe making burned toast. His father's briefcase. The drive to the bank. The first question about ID. The second. The third. The security guard. The phone calls. The tearing. The throwing. The word sir arriving 52 minutes too late. Elena writes furiously, asks questions, clarifies details. The elderly woman who witnessed everything. You have her contact information? Helen Davis. She gave me her number before I left. Can I speak with her? I'll ask. I think she'll say yes. What about the other customers, the 12 witnesses? I don't have their information, but the bank does. Security cameras caught everything. They'll fight releasing that footage. Let them fight. Elena puts down her pen, looks at Marcus directly. Mr. Webb, I need to be honest with you. If I publish this story, your life changes. Forever. You become the face of banking discrimination in Philadelphia, maybe nationally. the bank will come after you. They'll dig into your past, your business, your personal life. They'll try to find anything they can use against you. I understand. Do you have anything in your past they could use? I'm a black man who built a software company from nothing, raised a daughter alone after my wife died, paid my taxes, followed the law. The worst thing I've ever done is get a parking ticket in 2019. They'll still try. Let them. Elena nods slowly. Jordan said you were ready. I believe him now. How long until you can publish? I need to verify everything first. Talk to witnesses. Get the bank's response. Check your business records, just to confirm what you've told me. A week, maybe less. A week. I know it feels slow, but if we rush this and get something wrong, they'll use it to discredit the entire story. We have to be bulletproof. Marcus thinks about Victoria Shaw, about Robert Anderson, about every black customer who walked into that bank and felt those eyes on them. A week, but not longer. Not longer. They shake hands. Elena gathers her things, stops at the door. Mr. Webb? Yeah? What your daughter said. Don't think about it. Do it. That's good advice. She's smarter than me. Must run in the family. Elena leaves. Marcus sits alone. The recording's still pulled up on his phone. 52 minutes and 18 seconds. The world is about to hear every word. The next 5 days are chaos. Elena works fast, interviews Helen Davis, tracks down 3 other witnesses from the bank, files public records requests, contacts First Heritage for comment. Jordan Hayes files formal complaints with the Pennsylvania State Banking Commission and the Federal Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Marcus receives his replacement check from Premier Logistics, deposits it at a different bank. No questions, no security, no "sir" required. The money is in his account now. $10 million. But it doesn't feel like victory. Not yet. On day 3, Jordan calls. We got something. What? A whistleblower. Inside First Heritage. They sent documents to Elena anonymously. What kind of documents? Training materials, internal memos, performance reviews. Marcus, this is bigger than Victoria Shaw. This goes all the way up. How far up? Corporate. They have a system, enhanced due diligence protocols for certain customers. Want to guess which customers? Tell me. The training manual lists high-risk zip codes that require extra verification. Every single zip code is in a Black or Latino neighborhood. West Philly, North Philly, Germantown. All of them. Marcus feels the anger rise again, that familiar heat in his chest. They trained her to do this. They incentivized her to do it. Her performance reviews show bonuses for proactive fraud prevention. $8,500 last year alone. For doing exactly what she did to you. She got paid. She got paid. And protected. There were 12 complaints against her in her personnel file. 12, spanning 6 years. All from customers of color. And nothing happened. No discipline, no retraining, nothing. Because the bank wanted her to keep doing it. Because the bank made money from her doing it. Fewer risky deposits means lower liability. Lower liability means higher profits. They built a system that rewards discrimination. Marcus is silent, processing. This isn't just a lawsuit anymore, Jordan continues. This is a federal case. This is congressional testimony. This is front-page news. Elena has the documents? She's verifying them now, cross-referencing with public records, making sure everything is authentic. How long? 2 more days. She wants to publish this weekend. Maximum impact. 2 more days. Marcus looks at his father's briefcase. They're going to fight back, hard. They're going to fight back, desperate. But we have evidence. We have witnesses. We have 52 minutes of audio. And now we have their own training manuals proving this was policy. What about the other victims? The ones who signed NDAs? I'm reaching out to them, confidentially. Some of them might be willing to break their agreements if they see others standing up. They'll get sued. Maybe, but NDAs covering illegal discrimination are often unenforceable. We can argue they were signed under duress. Victims didn't have the resources to fight, so they took what was offered. How many victims? So far, 17 who've responded to me, but I think there are more. A lot more. 17. 17 people who felt what Marcus felt, who were questioned, doubted, humiliated, who took the money and stayed quiet because they didn't have a choice. I want to meet them. What? The other victims. I want to meet them, talk to them, let them know they're not alone. Marcus, that could complicate the legal case. I don't care about the legal case. I care about the people. I've been thinking about this all week. What happened to me was wrong. But I have resources. I have a platform. I have $10 million in the bank. What about the person who got humiliated over a $500 deposit? What about the single mother who got security called on her for cashing her paycheck? What about them? Jordan is quiet. You're talking about a movement. I'm talking about people. Real people who deserve to know that someone believes them, that someone sees them, that someone is willing to stand up and say, "This happened to me too." That's a lot bigger than a lawsuit. It needs to be bigger than a lawsuit. Lawsuits end in settlements. Settlements end in NDAs. NDAs end in silence. And silence lets them keep doing it. So, what are you proposing? Marcus looks out the window, thinks about his daughter's words. Don't think about it. Do it. After Elena's story goes live, I want to hold a press conference. Me and any other victim willing to stand up. We tell our stories. All of them. We put faces to the numbers. We make it impossible to ignore. The bank will come after all of you. Let them. Let them sue 17 people for telling the truth. Let them explain to a jury why they're punishing victims for speaking. You understand the risk. I've understood the risk my whole life. Every time I walk into a room where I'm the only black face, every time I reach for my wallet during a traffic stop, every time I try to deposit money I earned. Risk is not new to me, Jordan. This risk is just louder. Silence on the line. Then Jordan laughs, low, admiring. Your father must have been one hell of a man. He was. All right, let's do this. I'll coordinate with the other victims. Elena will publish Saturday morning. Press conference Sunday afternoon. Where? Steps of City Hall. Maximum visibility. Maximum pressure. I'll be there. Marcus? Yeah? Whatever happens, you've already won. You know that, right? The moment you decided not to stay quiet, you won. Winning isn't enough. I want change. Then let's go get it. They hang up. Marcus sits in silence. Saturday morning. 2 days away. Everything changes then. On day 4, the bank makes its move. Marcus's phone rings at 7 a.m. Unknown number. Mr. Webb, this is Richard Morrison, CEO of First Heritage Bank. Marcus sits up in bed. Didn't expect this. Mr. Morrison, I apologize for calling so early. I understand you're planning to speak with the media. Word travels fast. I want to offer you an opportunity before things go too far. I'm listening. Meet with me today, in person. Let me show you that First Heritage takes this seriously. Let me share what we're doing to address the situation. You've had 6 years to address the situation. 12 complaints against Victoria Shaw alone. What's different now? Silence. You've seen her personnel file. I've seen enough. Mr. Webb, I'm not going to pretend we handled this perfectly. We didn't. But going to war with us benefits no one. The legal fees alone will consume years of your life. And for what? A settlement that you could have right now? What are you offering? $1 million. Personal apology from myself and the entire executive team. Victoria Shaw terminated immediately. Comprehensive review of all policies. And your choice of charitable donation, another $1 million to any organization you select. $2 million. More than they've ever offered anyone. Marcus thinks about what that money could do. For Zoe, for the scholarship fund in his father's name, for the other victims. And the NDA? Standard confidentiality agreement. Nothing unusual. Meaning I can't talk about what happened. Meaning the matter is resolved privately, with dignity for all parties. Dignity. The word tastes like ash. Mr. Morrison, you want to know what dignity looks like? Dignity is being treated like a human being when you walk into a bank. Dignity is not having to bring 5 years of tax returns to deposit a check. Dignity is not having security called on you for trying to access your own money. I understand you're angry. You don't understand anything. You think this is about money. It's not. You think this is about me. It's not. This is about every single person who walked into your bank and was made to feel less than. Every person who took your settlement and signed your NDA because they didn't have a choice. Every person who felt what I felt and had no one to stand with them. Mr. Webb, I'm not signing your NDA. I'm not taking your money. And I'm not stopping until everyone knows exactly what First Heritage has been doing. You're making a mistake. No, I'm making a choice. Same choice my father made every day of his life. To stand up instead of bow down. To speak instead of stay silent. To refuse to be made small. We'll fight you. I know. We have resources you can't imagine, and I have something you don't. The truth. Marcus hangs up. His hands are shaking, not from fear, from purpose. His phone buzzes immediately. Text from Jordan. Morrison called you? How did you know? He called me first. Tried to go over your head. I told him you don't have a price. What did he say? He said, everyone has a price. I said, you're not everyone. Marcus smiles despite himself. What now? Now, we wait. Elena publishes tomorrow. The world finds out Saturday morning. And then, everything changes. I'm ready. I know you are. Friday night. Zoe is asleep. Marcus sits at the kitchen table staring at his phone. Tomorrow, his face will be everywhere. His name. His story. His humiliation played out for the world to judge. He's not afraid of the exposure. He's afraid of what it might mean for Zoe. His phone buzzes. Text from Elena. Story goes live at 6 a.m. You ready? As I'll ever be. Get some sleep. Tomorrow is going to be big. Marcus puts down the phone, walks to Zoe's room, opens the door quietly. She's sleeping, peaceful, unaware of the storm about to break around her. Marcus sits on the edge of her bed, just watches her breathe. I'm doing this for you, he whispers, for your future, for the world you're going to grow up in. I want it to be better than the one I got. I want you to walk into any room, any bank, any office, any space, and be seen for who you are, not what you look like. Zoe stirs, doesn't wake. Your grandmother told you I was going to change the world. I don't know if I can do that, but I can try. I can stand up. I can speak out. I can make sure that what happened to me doesn't happen to someone else's father, someone else's daughter. He kisses her forehead. I love you, baby. More than anything. More than $10 million. More than justice. More than being right. He stands. But I have to do this. I have to. Because if I stay quiet, I'm teaching you that silence is safer than truth. And that's a lesson I refuse to pass down. Marcus walks to the door. Stops. Your grandfather would be proud of you. I know he is. I can feel him watching. Both of them. Your mom and your grandpa. Right there beside us. Cheering us on. He closes the door softly. Goes back to the kitchen. Picks up his father's briefcase. Opens it. Inside, the note. Gerald Webb's handwriting. Faded, but legible. Don't let anyone make you small. Marcus holds the note to his chest. Tomorrow. Everything changes tomorrow. Saturday, 6 a.m. The Lainez article goes live.
Banking while black. Inside First Heritage Bank's system of discrimination. The headline hits like a thunderclap. The story is comprehensive, devastating, undeniable. Marcus's account of March 14th, the 52-minute recording, excerpts transcribed throughout the article. Helen Davis's witness statement, 3 other customer testimonies, the leaked training manual with its high-risk zip codes, Victoria Shaw's performance reviews, showing bonuses for discrimination, the 12 ignored complaints, the 3 sealed settlements, and the audio clip that will define everything. Mr. Webb. Sir. The word sir arriving 52 minutes too late. By 7 a.m., the article has 100,000 views. By 8 a.m., 300,000. By noon, 1.2 million. The comment section becomes a confessional. This happened to me at First Heritage in 2019. They made me provide 3 pay stubs for a $2,000 deposit. I'm black. The white customer ahead of me showed 1 ID. Victoria Shaw denied my small business loan, called my business plan unrealistic. I'm a doctor. The loan was for $15,000. I had $200,000 in assets. Different branch, same experience. Security called. Handcuffed in the lobby. Released with an apology. No real apology, just a form letter. The stories multiply. Dozens, then hundreds. First Heritage's stock drops 8% by market close. Corporate issues a statement at 2 p.m. First Heritage Bank takes these allegations extremely seriously. Ms. Shaw has been suspended, pending investigation. We are committed to diversity, inclusion, and respectful service for all customers. The statement is torn apart online within minutes. Suspended? Not fired? After 12 complaints? Committed to diversity? Your training manual targets black neighborhoods. This isn't one employee, this is company policy. Hashtag boycott First Heritage. The hashtag trends nationally by 4 p.m. Marcus's phone doesn't stop buzzing. Interview requests. CNN, MSN, BC, NPR, local news, national news, podcasts, radio shows. Jordan fields them all. We'll do 1 interview today, NPR. Then the press conference tomorrow. That's the strategy. Build momentum. The NPR interview airs at 6 p.m. Mr. Webb, when Regional Vice President Robert Anderson said, "Sir," what did you feel? Marcus pauses, considers his words. I felt like respect was being given to the wrong version of me. He said sir to the CEO he recognized, the successful entrepreneur. But he should have been saying it to the black man his employee had just humiliated. Because respect shouldn't require recognition. It should be default. The clip goes viral. Respect shouldn't require recognition. The phrase becomes a hashtag, a rallying cry. By midnight, 500,000 people have shared it. Sunday morning, press conference day. Marcus wakes at 5 a.m. Doesn't need the alarm. Zoe is still asleep. He sits in the kitchen, coffee in hand, father's briefcase on the table. This is it. This is the moment everything either falls apart or comes together. His phone buzzes. Text from Jordan. 17 victims confirmed, all coming to the press conference. We've got a movement. 17. 17 people who felt what he felt. 17 people ready to stand together. Marcus types back. See you at City Hall. He goes to wake Zoe. Baby, wake up. Zoe stirs, rubs her eyes. Daddy, what time is it? Early. I need to talk to you about something. Zoe sits up, instantly alert. She knows that tone. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong, but today is going to be a big day. I'm going to be on TV. A lot of people are going to hear what happened at the bank. The lady who ripped your check? Yeah, her, and the bank she works for. Are they in trouble? They're going to be. Zoe nods seriously. Good. They should be in trouble. But here's the thing, baby. Some people might say mean things about me. Online. Maybe at school. People who don't understand why I'm doing this. Why are you doing this? Marcus sits on the edge of her bed, takes her hand. Because what happened to me happens to a lot of people who look like us. And most of them can't fight back. They don't have the money. They don't have the platform. They just have to take it and stay quiet. That's not fair. No, it's not. So I'm fighting back. For them. For us. For you. Zoe squeezes his hand. Mommy would want you to fight. Yeah? She always said you were brave. The bravest person she ever met. Marcus feels tears prick his eyes. I don't feel brave. That's what brave people always say. In the movies. Right before they do something amazing. Marcus laughs. Pulls his daughter into a hug. I love you so much. I love you too, Daddy. Now go kick their butts. Zoe, language. You said butts is okay. I said it's borderline. Borderline is still okay. Marcus laughs again, kisses her forehead. Mrs. Patterson is taking you today. You'll stay with her until I'm done. Can I watch on TV? If Mrs. Patterson says it's okay. She'll say yes. She thinks you're a hero. She said that? She said, your father is standing up for what's right, and that makes him a hero. Then she gave me extra cookies. Extra cookies? 2 extra. I didn't tell you because I thought you'd be mad about the sugar. I'm more mad that I missed out on cookies. Zoe grins. I'll save you some next time. Deal. Marcus stands. Be good today. I'll be home as soon as I can. Go be brave, Daddy. I'll try. Don't try. Do. Don't think about it. Do it. His daughter, 9 years old, wiser than everyone. Marcus walks to the door. Daddy? He turns. Yeah, baby? I'm proud of you. Just like Mommy. Just like Grandpa. The tears come now. Marcus doesn't fight them. Thank you, Zoe. That means everything. He leaves before he loses his composure completely. City Hall steps, 2 p.m. The crowd is larger than anyone expected. Journalists, cameras, supporters, protesters, signs reading, "Respect shouldn't require recognition," and "Justice for Marcus," and hashtag "Boycott First Heritage." And on the steps, 17 people. 17 victims of First Heritage Bank, standing together, ready to speak. Marcus looks at them.
An elderly man who was questioned over a $3,000 deposit from his pension. A young woman who had security called on her for trying to open a checking account. A business owner whose loan was denied despite perfect credit. A grandmother who was humiliated in front of her grandchildren. All of them. All with stories. All tired of silence. Jordan steps to the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Today we stand together, not as plaintiffs, not as victims, but as witnesses. Witnesses to a system that has discriminated against customers of color for years. A system that rewarded employees for profiling. A system that paid for silence instead of change. The crowd is silent, listening. You've heard Marcus Webb's story, the 52 minutes, the torn check, the word "sir" that came too late. But Marcus is not alone. Behind me are 17 people with similar stories. Different branches, different years, same treatment. Jordan turns to Marcus. Mr. Webb? Marcus steps to the microphone, looks out at the crowd, the cameras, the faces, the moment. His father's voice in his head. Don't let anyone make you small. 5 days ago, Marcus begins, I walked into First Heritage Bank with a check for $10 million. 5 years of work. 5 years of sacrifice. 5 years of proving that a black man from West Philly could build something worth buying. He pauses, breathes. I walked out with torn paper on my chest and a reminder that success doesn't erase assumptions. But here's what I've learned since then. I'm not special. What happened to me happens every single day to people who don't have $10 million, who don't have lawyers, who don't have platforms. They just have to take it and stay quiet and hope tomorrow is better. Marcus looks at the 17 people behind him. These are some of those people. They're here because they're tired of hoping. They're here because silence protects systems. They're here because dignity shouldn't require credentials, and respect shouldn't require recognition. He turns back to the cameras. To First Heritage Bank, this is not a negotiation. This is a reckoning. You built a system that treats customers of color like criminals. You trained employees to profile. You rewarded discrimination. You paid for silence. That ends today. The crowd erupts. Cheers, applause, signs waving. Marcus doesn't smile. This isn't victory yet. This is just the beginning. One by one, the other victims step forward. They tell their stories, the questions, the suspicion, the humiliation. Each story different, each story the same. The cameras capture everything. The world is watching. And somewhere, in a corporate office, Richard Morrison watches too. His phone buzzes. Text from legal. Stock down another 6%. Board calling emergency meeting. Morrison stares at the screen. The man with the torn check is winning, and there's nothing he can do to stop it. The press conference ends at 4:37 p.m. Marcus steps away from the microphone. His legs feel hollow. His throat is raw. But something burns in his chest that wasn't there before. Purpose. Jordan grabs his arm. That was incredible. You know that, right? That was exactly what we needed. It doesn't feel incredible. It feels like the beginning of something I can't control. That's because it is, and that's exactly the point. Marcus looks at the 17 people still standing on the steps. Some are crying. Some are hugging. Some are just staring at the crowd, overwhelmed by the magnitude of what they just did. An elderly man approaches Marcus, 70-something, thin, hands trembling. Mr. Webb? Yes, sir? My name is Walter Jenkins. I was customer number 4, the one who got questioned over a pension deposit. I remember your story. I'm sorry that happened to you. Walter shakes his head. Don't be sorry. I've been carrying that shame for 3 years. Thought it was my fault somehow. Thought I must have done something wrong. Today, standing up there, telling my story, you gave me my dignity back. Marcus doesn't know what to say. Walter continues. My grandson is 12. He asked me why I never go to the bank anymore, why I use only cash. I couldn't tell him. I was too ashamed. But tonight, I'm going to sit him down. I'm going to show him the video of today. And I'm going to tell him that his grandfather stood up. Finally. Walter's eyes are wet. Marcus's are too. Thank you, Mr. Webb. Thank you for not staying quiet. Walter walks away. Marcus watches him go. This is why. This is exactly why. The next 3 days are a blur. Monday morning, the Pennsylvania State Banking Commission announces a formal investigation into First Heritage Bank. All branches, all customer complaints from the past 6 years, full scope. Monday afternoon, 3 more victims come forward. Then 7 more. Then 12. By Tuesday night, the count is 43. 43 people with stories. 43 people who felt what Marcus felt. Jordan calls at 11 p.m. We need to talk. Can you come to my office tomorrow morning? What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. Something's very right. But you need to hear this in person. Marcus arrives at Jordan's office at 8 a.m. Jordan is already there. So is Elena Martinez, and a man Marcus doesn't recognize. Marcus, this is Terry Wilson. He was compliance officer at First Heritage for 15 years. He resigned in 2023. Terry stands, shakes Marcus's hand. His grip is weak. His eyes are heavy. Mr. Webb, I've been watching everything. The press conference, the interviews, the investigation. And I have to tell you something. Something I should have said years ago. Terry sits back down, rubs his face with both hands. I tried to stop it. I want you to know that. I raised concerns internally, wrote memos, flagged complaints, but every time I got the same response. Settlements are cheaper than change. What do you mean? I mean the bank knew. Corporate knew. The training manuals, the high-risk zip codes, the performance bonuses. None of that was accidental. It was policy. Deliberate policy designed to reduce risk by profiling customers of color. You have proof? I have emails. I have meeting minutes. I have a recording of Richard Morrison himself explaining why settlements are preferable to systemic reform. Marcus stares at him. Why didn't you come forward before? Terry's face crumbles. Because I was scared. Because I had a family. Because they made it very clear what would happen to me if I talked. They threatened to sue me, to destroy my reputation, to make sure I never worked in banking again. So what changed? You did. Watching you stand up there with 43 people behind you. I realized I'd been protecting the wrong side. I'd been protecting myself when I should have been protecting them. Jordan leans forward. Terry came to me last night. He's willing to testify. He's willing to provide everything he has. Emails, documents, recordings, everything. And in exchange? Terry shakes his head. No exchange. I just want to do the right thing. Finally. Marcus looks at this broken man, sees the weight he's been carrying. They're going to come after you. I know. They're going to try to destroy you. I know. Are you ready for that? Terry meets his eyes. Something shifts in his expression. Fear replaced by resolve. I've been ready for 3 years. I just needed someone to stand with. Marcus extends his hand. Welcome to the fight. The documents Terry provides are devastating. Email chains showing corporate awareness of discrimination complaints. Meeting minutes where executives discussed cost-benefit analysis of settlements versus policy reform. A recording of Richard Morrison saying, quote, "It's cheaper to pay them off than to change how we operate. And they always take the money."
They have no choice. Jordan files an amended complaint with the Banking Commission. Adds federal civil rights violations. Requests congressional investigation. The story explodes. Wednesday morning, CNN runs a full segment. Banking while black, the first heritage scandal. Wednesday afternoon, 2 senators call for federal hearings. Wednesday evening, First Heritage stock drops another 11%. Thursday morning, Richard Morrison resigns. The announcement comes at 9 a.m. After much reflection, I have decided to step down as CEO of First Heritage Bank. This decision is not an admission of wrongdoing, but a recognition that the bank needs new leadership to navigate this challenging time. Marcus watches the press conference on his laptop. Zoe sits beside him, eating cereal. "Is that the bad guy, Daddy?" "One of them." "He doesn't look sorry." "He's not sorry for what he did. He's sorry he got caught." "What's the difference?" "Everything, baby. Everything." Morrison's resignation changes nothing. The investigation continues. The lawsuits multiply. The victims keep coming forward. By Friday, the count is 67. 67 people. 67 stories. 67 reasons why Marcus refused to stay quiet. Friday afternoon, Jordan calls. The Banking Commission wants to hold public hearings, testimony under oath. They want you to go first. When? 2 weeks, May 14th. I'll be there. Marcus, this is big. This isn't just a hearing. This is history. The first public testimony on systemic banking discrimination in Pennsylvania. I know. Are you ready? Marcus thinks about his father, about Linda, about Zoe, about every person who stood on those City Hall steps. I've been ready my whole life. The 2 weeks pass quickly. Marcus prepares his testimony with Jordan. They go over every detail, every moment, every word. Elena publishes 2 more articles. One on Terry Wilson's documents, one on the expanding list of victims, now numbering 81. First Heritage announces comprehensive reform measures, new training programs, bias audits, customer complaint hotlines. Jordan calls it window dressing. They're trying to look like they've changed before the hearings. Don't let it fool anyone. Marcus doesn't. The night before the hearing, Zoe asks to sleep in his bed. Why, baby? Because you're nervous. I can tell. I'm not nervous.
You're doing the thing where you don't eat your dinner. I ate some of it. 3 bites, Daddy. 3 bites is not dinner. Marcus sighs. His daughter knows him too well. Okay, I'm a little nervous. About tomorrow? Yeah. What are you scared of? Marcus thinks about it. Really thinks. I'm scared that it won't matter. That I'll say everything I need to say, and nothing will change. That the bank will pay some fines and issue some apologies, and everything will go back to the way it was. Zoe climbs onto the bed, sits cross-legged facing him. Remember when I had to do the speech for class? About someone I admire? I remember. I was so scared. I thought everyone would laugh at me. I thought I'd forget my words. I thought it would be terrible. But it wasn't. It was still scary, but I did it anyway. And even if everyone had laughed, I still would have been proud because I tried. Marcus looks at his daughter, this small human who somehow became wiser than him. When did you get so smart? I told you, I've always been smart. You're the slow one. You keep saying that because it keeps being true. Marcus pulls her close, holds her tight. I love you, Zoe. I love you too, Daddy. Now go to sleep. Big day tomorrow. Yes, ma'am. Zoe grins. That's more like it. May 14th, Pennsylvania State Banking Commission,
Room 402. Every seat is filled. Cameras line the walls. Journalists crowd the back. Outside, protesters carry signs. Marcus sits at the witness table, Jordan beside him. Across the room, First Heritage's legal team. 8 lawyers, expensive suits, confident expressions. At the front, Commissioner Patricia Williams, 72 years old, 30 years on the commission. The kind of face that has seen everything and believes nothing without proof. This hearing is now in session. Commissioner Williams's voice cuts through the murmur. We are here to investigate complaints of discriminatory practices at First Heritage Bank. All testimony will be under oath. Recordings are permitted. Mr. Webb, you may begin. Marcus stands, looks at the cameras, the journalists, the packed room. Thinks about his father. Don't let anyone make you small. My name is Marcus Webb. On March 14th of this year, I walked into First Heritage Bank to deposit a check for $10 million. The room is silent. I walked out 52 minutes later with torn paper on my chest and a reminder that in America, success doesn't erase assumptions. He tells the story, every detail. The alarm at 5:15, Zoe's burned toast, his father's briefcase, the first request for ID, the second, the third, the security guard, the phone calls, the tearing, the throwing, and then the word. Mr. Webb, sir. He pauses. The regional vice president arrived at minute 52. He recognized me from a conference, and suddenly I deserved respect. Suddenly I was sir. But for 52 minutes before that, I was a suspect, a criminal, a black man who couldn't possibly have $10 million. Marcus looks directly at Commissioner Williams. That word, sir, it arrived too late. Not too late to save Victoria Shaw's career. Too late to save my dignity. Too late to undo what 12 customers witnessed. Too late to matter. He takes a breath. But I'm not here for myself. I stopped being here for myself the moment I saw how many others had the same experience. 81 victims and counting. 81 people who were questioned, doubted, humiliated, made to feel like criminals for the crime of banking while black. He gestures to the crowd. They're here, in this room, watching, waiting, hoping that today, finally, someone with power will say, "This is wrong. This must stop. This will not be tolerated." Commissioner Williams nods slowly. Thank you, Mr. Webb. We have some questions. The questions come for 2 hours. Details about the incident, details about the recording, details about his interactions with bank management. Then, Victoria Shaw is called to testify. She enters through a side door, escorted by lawyers, face pale, hands shaking. She's sworn in, sits down, doesn't look at Marcus. Jordan conducts the examination. Ms. Shaw, on March 14th, you refused to process a deposit from Marcus Webb. Why? Victoria's voice is barely audible. The amount seemed inconsistent. Inconsistent with what? With standard deposits. You've processed large deposits before, millions of dollars. What was different about Mr. Webb's deposit? Silence. Ms. Shaw? I followed protocol. What protocol tells you to destroy a customer's property before verification? What protocol tells you to call security for a routine deposit? I was trained. Let's talk about that training. Jordan introduces the training manual, the high-risk zip codes, the performance bonuses. Were you aware that these zip codes correspond to predominantly Black and Latino neighborhoods? I didn't think about it that way. Did you receive bonuses for proactive fraud prevention? Yes. How much last year? $8,500. And how many of your fraud prevention cases involved customers of color, Victoria's lawyer objects. Commissioner Williams overrules. Ms. Shaw, answer the question. Victoria's face is white now. Trapped. I don't have exact numbers. Would you say most? Half? Nearly all? Silence. Ms. Shaw. Most. Most of them. The room erupts. Commissioner Williams calls for order. Jordan continues. Ms. Shaw, there are 12 complaints in your personnel file, all from customers of color, all spanning 6 years. Were you ever disciplined for any of them? No. Were you ever retrained? No. Were you ever even warned? No. So the bank knew. They had 12 complaints, and they did nothing. Victoria says nothing. In fact, they rewarded you with bonuses, with promotions, with 16 years of employment. Victoria's lawyer tries to intervene. Commissioner Williams silences him. Ms. Shaw, I have one final question. Jordan leans forward. When you tore up that check, when you threw those pieces at Marcus Webb's chest, what were you thinking? Silence. Were you thinking about protocol? About fraud prevention? About protecting the bank? Victoria's eyes are wet now. Or were you thinking that a black man couldn't possibly have $10 million? That he didn't deserve to be in your bank? That he wasn't worthy of the same respect you gave to every white customer before him? Victoria breaks. The tears come. The composure crumbles. I never thought of myself as... I'm not a racist. No one ever thinks they are, Ms. Shaw. But your actions spoke louder than your intentions, and 81 people paid the price. Jordan sits down. The room is silent. Commissioner Williams speaks. We'll take a brief recess. When we return, Mr. Robert Anderson will testify. Marcus stands, walks into the hallway. His phone buzzes. Text from Zoe. I'm watching at Mrs. Patterson's house. You're doing great, Daddy. Keep going. Marcus smiles, types back. Thanks, baby. Almost done. Don't forget, you promised me ice cream after. I didn't forget. Double scoop? Triple. Best daddy ever. Marcus puts his phone away. The recess ends. Robert Anderson takes the stand. He's aged since March, face drawn, eyes hollow. The confidence Marcus remembers from their coffee shop meeting is gone. He's sworn in. Jordan begins. Mr. Anderson, you arrived at the branch at approximately 12:52 p.m. What did you observe? I saw Mr. Webb at the counter, paper on the floor. Miss Shaw appeared agitated. When did you recognize Mr. Webb? Almost immediately. And what did you say? I said, Mr. Webb, and then I said, Sir. Why did you use that word? It's respectful. Did Miss Shaw use that word? She used it differently. How so? Anderson pauses, struggles. She used it dismissively. I used it with respect. Why? Because I recognized him. I knew who he was. So respect came with recognition. Anderson closes his eyes. Yes. If you hadn't recognized Mr. Webb, if he had been any other black man with a $10 million check, would you have called him sir with respect? The question hangs in the air. The room holds its breath. Anderson's voice is barely a whisper. I don't know. That's the problem, isn't it, Mr. Anderson? Jordan stands. Respect shouldn't require recognition. Dignity shouldn't need credentials. Sir should be default, not apology. He walks back to the table. No further questions. Commissioner Williams calls for a recess. Marcus sits in the hallway, alone, the weight of the day pressing down. A door opens. Robert Anderson steps out. They look at each other. For a long moment, neither speaks. Then Anderson walks over. Mr. Webb. Mr. Anderson. I've been thinking about what you said.
At the coffee shop. About saying, sir, sooner.
And?
You were right. I gave respect to the man I recognized, not the man who deserved it. That's something I have to live with.
Marcus says nothing. Anderson continues. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I know I don't deserve it. But I want you to know, what happened that day changed me. I see things differently now. I notice things I never noticed before. The looks, the assumptions,
The way people are treated differently based on nothing but skin color.
Good. Good? Good that you finally see it. Most people go their whole lives blind. Anderson nods slowly. What happens now? With the bank? That's not up to me. That's up to the commission. And the courts. And the 81 people whose stories are finally being heard. Do you think anything will change? Marcus looks at him. My daughter asked me the same thing. I told her I don't know. But I know this. Silence guarantees nothing changes. Speaking up at least gives change a chance. Anderson extends his hand. Marcus looks at it. Thinks about March 14th. The torn paper. The word sir arriving too late. He takes the hand. Shakes it once. Then walks away. Some wounds don't heal. But some bridges get built anyway. The hearing reconvenes at 4 p.m. Commissioner Williams delivers preliminary findings. Based on testimony and evidence presented, this commission finds probable cause that First Heritage Bank engaged in systematic discriminatory practices. Training materials contain coded language that disproportionately targets customers of color. Performance incentives rewarded behavior that discriminates. Management failed to implement adequate oversight. She pauses. Remedies pending final order. $4.3 million fine. Mandatory third-party monitor for 3 years. Public disclosure of all settlements since 2018. Individual liability recommendations. Ms. Shah terminated and barred from banking industry. Mr. Anderson, formal reprimand and mandatory retraining. Former CEO Morrison, personal fine and oversight requirement. The room erupts. Applause. Tears. Embraces. Marcus sits still. It's not over yet, but it's something. Commissioner Williams continues. Additionally, this commission orders the establishment of a $5 million fund for victim compensation. All 81 complainants, and any future complainants verified through investigation, will have access to this fund. More applause. Jordan grabs Marcus's arm. We did it. We actually did it. Marcus looks at him. This isn't victory. This is accountability. Victory is when the next black person walks into that bank and gets treated like a human being from minute one. Jordan nods. Then let's make sure that happens. The hearing ends at 5:47 p.m. Marcus walks outside. The crowd is still there, bigger than before. Signs, cameras, faces, and in front of everyone, Zoe, Mrs. Patterson standing behind her. Daddy! Zoe runs through the crowd, launches herself into Marcus's arms. He catches her, holds her tight, breathes in strawberry shampoo and hope. You did it, Daddy! You did it! We did it, baby. All of us. Mrs. Patterson let me watch the whole thing, even the boring parts. There were boring parts? The lawyer stuff. But your part was really good. Just good? Amazing. The best. Everyone was crying at Mrs. Patterson's house. Marcus laughs, sets her down. Mrs. Patterson approaches. Mr. Webb, I just want you to know, we're all so proud of you.
What you did today, it matters. It really matters.
Thank you.
And Zoe was incredible. She explained everything to my grandson better than the TV people.
Marcus looks at his daughter. Is that right?
Zoe shrugs. Someone had to make it make sense.
What did you tell him?
I told him my daddy stood up for people who couldn't stand up for themselves. And that's what heroes do.
Marcus's throat tightens. I'm not a hero, baby.
Yes, you are, and I'm going to tell everyone.
Marcus pulls her close again. The cameras flash. The crowd cheers. But Marcus doesn't hear any of it. He only hears his father's voice. Don't let anyone make you small. He never did. And now, neither will anyone else. 6 months later, September. The leaves are starting to turn. Philadelphia wears gold and red, like a city finally shedding its old skin. Marcus Webb wakes at 5:15 a.m. Same time as always. Some habits never break. But everything else has changed. The apartment is different now. Bigger. New neighborhood. Better school district for Zoe. The $10 million finally doing what money is supposed to do. Building a future. Marcus lies in bed for a moment, stares at the ceiling. Thinks about March 14th, 187 days ago. Feels like a lifetime. Feels like yesterday. Daddy? Zoe appears in the doorway. 10 years old now. Birthday was last month. Double-digit age. She reminds him of this constantly. Hey, baby. Why are you up so early? Couldn't sleep. Big day today. Marcus smiles.
You remember what today is? Duh, the scholarship thing.
The scholarship thing. The Gerald Webb Memorial Scholarship. First award ceremony. Temple University. 4 students. Full tuition. All from West Philly. Nervous?
A little. I have to make a speech. You've made speeches before. Not to a whole university.
Zoe climbs onto the bed, sits cross-legged. Same position. Same serious face.
What are you going to say? I don't know yet. Daddy, the ceremony is in 6 hours.
I work well under pressure.
You're impossible.
I learned from you. Zoe rolls her eyes, but she's smiling. They've done a lot of smiling these past 6 months. After everything that happened, the hearings, the settlement, the media circus, Marcus worried that Zoe would be affected, that kids at school would treat her differently, that the weight of it all would crush her. Instead, she thrived. Her teacher told Marcus that Zoe had become a leader in class, standing up for other kids, speaking out when she saw something wrong, refusing to stay quiet. Where did she learn that? The teacher asked. Marcus didn't have an answer. He didn't need one. What do you want for breakfast? Marcus asks.
Pancakes.
We had pancakes yesterday. And? And variety is important.
Pancakes are important.
You're impossible.
I learned from you.
Marcus laughs. First real laugh of the day. Some things never change. Thank God. The drive to Temple takes 35 minutes. Marcus and Zoe in the front seat. Jordan Hayes in the back. You ready for this? Jordan asks. As I'll ever be. The press will be there. Cameras, reporters. They'll want comments.
I know.
Stick to the scholarship, the students, the future. Don't let them drag you back into the bank stuff.
The bank stuff is why we're here.
I know, but today isn't about the fight. Today is about what comes after. Marcus nods. What comes after? That's the question he's been asking himself for months. After the hearings, everything accelerated. First, Heritage Bank accepted a consent decree, $4.3 million in fines. 5-year monitoring program, complete overhaul of training procedures, public disclosure of all discrimination settlements since 2015, 47 settlements, 47 NDAs, 47 voices that had been silenced. Not anymore. The Victims' Compensation Fund distributed $5.2 million. 81 original complainants. 34 more who came forward after the hearings. Every single one received acknowledgement, apology, payment. Not enough to heal the wounds, but enough to say, "We see you. We believe you. What happened to you was wrong." Victoria Shaw was terminated, barred from the banking industry for life. Last Marcus heard, she was working at a call center in New Jersey. He didn't feel satisfaction when he heard that. He didn't feel anything. Revenge was never the point. Robert Anderson resigned voluntarily, took a position at a nonprofit focused on financial literacy in underserved communities. He sent Marcus a letter 3 months ago. "Mr. Webb, I know I can never undo what happened, but I can spend the rest of my career trying to prevent it from happening to someone else. Thank you for showing me what I couldn't see. Respectfully, Robert Anderson." Marcus kept the letter. Didn't respond. Some bridges get built. Some distances remain. Both can be true. Temple University appears through the windshield. "We're here," Zoe announces unnecessarily. "I can see that. Just making sure. You're old. Your eyes might be going." "I'm 39. "Like I said, old." Jordan laughs from the back seat. "She's got you there." Don't encourage her. They park, walk toward the auditorium. The campus is busy. Students everywhere. Young faces full of possibility. Marcus thinks about himself at their age. No money, no connections, no clear path forward. Just a father who believed in him, and a mother who worked 2 jobs to keep food on the table. He made it anyway. These students will too. That's why the scholarship exists. Not to give handouts, to remove obstacles, to say, your dreams are valid. Your potential is real. The only thing standing between you and success is opportunity, and we're going to provide that. 4 students this year. Darnell Washington, first-generation college student, wants to be an engineer. Keisha Brown, single mother of 2, wants to be a nurse. Marcus Johnson, same first name, same neighborhood, wants to be a software developer like his namesake. And the Leah Thompson, 17 years old, wants to be a lawyer. "So I can help people like you helped us," she wrote in her application. Marcus cried when he read that. Didn't tell anyone. Some things are private. The auditorium is packed. Faculty, students, press, community members. Marcus sees familiar faces. Elena Martinez, still covering the story, still pushing for accountability. Helen Davis, the elderly woman from the bank, the first witness. She's in the front row, waving. Walter Jenkins, the pension deposit victim, sitting with his grandson. Terry Wilson, the whistleblower, looking healthier than the last time Marcus saw him. And dozens of others, faces from the hearings, faces from the press conferences, faces from the movement that grew from one torn check. "Daddy, there are so many people." "I know, baby." "Are they all here for you?" "They're here for the students. I'm just the guy with the microphone." "You're more than that." Marcus looks at his daughter. "What do you mean?" Zoe thinks for a moment. That serious face again. "Mrs. Patterson says you're a symbol. That's what she calls you. A symbol of standing up." "I'm just a person, Zoe. I got angry about something unfair and decided not to stay quiet." "That's what symbols do, Daddy.
They show other people it's possible. Marcus doesn't have a response to that. His 9-year-old, 10-year-old now, keeps outthinking him. The ceremony begins at 11 a.m. University president speaks first. Thanks, donors. Thanks, supporters. Thanks, Marcus specifically, for his generosity and his courage. The word courage makes Marcus uncomfortable. He wasn't courageous. He was angry. He was tired. He refused to be made small. That's not courage. That's survival. But he doesn't correct the president. Some labels serve a purpose. The 4 scholarship recipients are introduced. One by one, they take the stage. Darnell speaks about his father, a mechanic who never finished high school but taught his son that education was the way out. Keisha speaks about her children, about the nights she studied while they slept, about the dream of giving them a better life. Marcus J. speaks about growing up in West Philly, about seeing drugs and violence and poverty, about deciding that he would be different. And Aaliyah speaks about justice. When I saw Mr. Webb's story on the news, she says, I was 16 years old. I had just been stopped by security at a store for no reason. They searched my bag, found nothing, didn't even apologize. Her voice is steady, strong. I went home that night and cried. I felt so small, so helpless, like nothing I did would ever matter because of how I look. She pauses. Then I watched Mr. Webb's press conference. I saw him stand up. I saw him refuse to be silent. I saw him turn his pain into power. And I thought, I want to do that. I want to help people who feel small. I want to be a lawyer so that no one has to face injustice alone. She turns to Marcus. Mr. Webb, you don't know me. We've never met. But you changed my life. You showed me that one person can make a difference, that speaking up matters, that dignity is worth fighting for. Her eyes are wet. So are Marcus's. Thank you. Thank you for not staying quiet. The auditorium erupts. Applause. Standing ovation. Marcus doesn't hear it. He only hears his father's voice. Don't let anyone make you small. He didn't. And now, neither will she. Marcus takes the stage. The applause fades. The room settles. Hundreds of faces looking up at him. He thinks about what Jordan said. Stick to the scholarship, the students, the future. But that's not the whole truth. And Marcus is done with partial truths. 6 months ago, he begins, I walked into a bank with a check for $10 million. The room is silent. I walked out with torn paper on my chest and a lesson I already knew but had been trying to forget. In America, success doesn't erase assumptions. No amount of money makes you immune from the look. You know the look. The one that says, you don't belong here. You couldn't possibly have earned this. You must be lying, cheating, stealing. He pauses. I could have stayed quiet. I could have taken the settlement. I could have signed the NDA and moved on with my life. Part of me wanted to. Part of me was tired. Part of me just wanted to deposit the check and go home to my daughter. He looks at Zoe in the front row. But my daughter asked me a question that night. She asked, "What happens now?" And then she said something I'll never forget. She said, "Don't think about it. Do it." The crowd murmurs. A few laughs. 9 years old. Wiser than anyone I know. Marcus takes a breath. I didn't do this for recognition. I didn't do it for money. I did it because my father taught me that a man's dignity is not negotiable. That standing up is not optional. That silence protects systems that hurt us. He looks out at the crowd. There are people in this room who stood with me, who testified, who came forward with their own stories, who risked everything to say, "This happened to me too. This is wrong.
This must stop. He nods toward Helen Davis, Walter Jenkins, Terry Wilson. I see you. I thank you. I honor you. Then he turns to the 4 scholarship recipients. But today isn't about me. Today isn't about the past. Today is about these 4 young people and what they're going to do with their futures. He steps toward them. Darnell, Keisha, Marcus, Aaliyah. You're not here because of charity. You're here because of potential. You're here because someone saw in you what the world tries to overlook. Brilliance, determination, the refusal to be defined by circumstance. He looks at each of them. My father was a factory worker for 38 years. He never went to college. He never made more than $40,000 a year. But he raised me to believe that my dreams were valid, that my potential was real, that the only person who could make me small was me. Marcus holds up his father's briefcase. He brought it on purpose. This was his. Worn leather, cracked corners. He carried it to work every single day. Not because he needed it. Machinists don't need briefcases. But because it made him feel professional, dignified, like he mattered. He opens it, pulls out a single piece of paper. When he died, I found this inside. A note. His handwriting. 5 words. Marcus reads aloud. Don't let anyone make you small. The room is completely silent. That's why I'm here. That's why this scholarship exists. Not to give you money, to give you what my father gave me. The belief that you are worthy, the knowledge that you are capable, the reminder that no matter what the world tells you, no matter how many people look at you and see less, you are more than their assumptions. He puts the note back in the briefcase, closes it. Go change the world. I'll be watching. The applause is thunderous, but Marcus doesn't hear it. He's looking at Zoe. She's crying, smiling, giving him a thumbs up. He walks off stage, straight to her, picks her up, holds her tight. You did it, Daddy. We did it, baby. All of us. Grandpa would be proud. I know. Mommy, too. I know. Zoe pulls back, looks at him with those eyes, Linda's eyes. What happens now? Marcus thinks about the question. 6 months ago, that question terrified him. Now, it excites him. Now we keep going. We keep fighting. We keep standing up for people who can't stand up for themselves. Forever? Forever. Zoe nods seriously. Okay, but can we get lunch first? I'm starving. Marcus laughs. Yeah, baby, we can get lunch. Pancakes? You want pancakes for lunch? I want pancakes always. You're impossible. I learned from you. They walk out together, father and daughter, past the cameras, past the crowds, past the people calling his name, into the sunlight, into whatever comes next. 3 weeks later, October. Marcus walks into PNC Bank. Different institution, different city. Routine deposit, $750,000. New contract, tech consulting. The lobby is quiet, midday lull. Marcus approaches the counter. A young woman greets him, 20-something. Name badge, Destiny Williams. Good afternoon, sir. How can I help you today? Sir, from the beginning, before credentials, before recognition, the way it should be. I'd like to deposit this check. He places it on the counter. Destiny looks at the amount, doesn't blink, doesn't hesitate. Of course, sir. I'll just need your ID and account number. Marcus provides both. One ID, one request. 30 seconds. Done. Is there anything else I can help you with today, Mr. Webb? Marcus looks at her. This young black woman behind the counter, doing her job, treating him like a human being, like it's the most natural thing in the world, because it should be. No, that's everything. Thank you. Have a great day, sir. Sir. First minute, not 52. Marcus walks out of the bank, stands on the sidewalk, breathes. The sun is warm. The city is loud. Life continues. He thinks about March 14th, about Victoria Shaw, about paper raining onto his shoes, about the word that came too late. He thinks about his father, about worn leather and cracked corners, and 5 words on a piece of paper. He thinks about Linda, about burned toast and strawberry shampoo, and a daughter who became his reason for everything. He thinks about 81 victims who are no longer silent, about 4 scholarship recipients who will change the world, about a movement that started with 1 torn check and grew into something that can't be stopped. His phone buzzes. Text from Zoe. How'd it go? Marcus types back. Perfect. No problems. Yay! Does that mean we can celebrate? What did you have in mind? Ice cream. Obviously. Obviously. Triple scoop? Don't push it. Double scoop? Deal. Best daddy ever. Marcus smiles, puts the phone away, starts walking. He doesn't know what tomorrow holds, doesn't know what challenges wait, doesn't know what battles remain. But he knows this: he will never be made small. He will never stay quiet. He will never stop fighting for a world where respect is default and dignity doesn't require credentials, where sir comes at minute 1, not minute 52. His father's voice echoes in his mind. One final time. Don't let anyone make you small. Marcus Webb never did, and he never will. The story ends here, but the fight continues. It continues in every bank lobby where a black customer is treated with suspicion. In every store where security follows someone based on skin color. In every boardroom where assumptions override credentials. In every moment when someone decides that silence is easier than justice. It continues until sir is automatic, until dignity is universal, until respect doesn't require recognition. That's the world Marcus Webb is building, one check at a time, one stand at a time, one refusal to be small at a time. If this story moved you, if you believe respect should be default, share it. Not for views, not for likes, for the person who needs to know. Your dignity matters. Your voice matters. You matter. From minute 1, always. No exceptions. Because that's what heroes do. They stand up. They speak out. They refuse to be small. And they change the world.